Talk a little bit about something that I actually get quite a few questions about, and that is dealing with negative comments, hate comments, troll comments. I'm willing to bet that most of us have dealt with this at some point. If you've been creating content for any amount of time, you know that people are going to leave unkind comments. And try as we might, oftentimes it hurts. And so I wanted to share several practical tips, strategies, ways to deal with hate comments, as well as several mindset shifts that have been absolutely transformational for me in dealing with them. I'm actually going to scoot to my living room as we talk. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to ask is, have you ever dealt with unkind, mean comments, hate comments, or anything like that? If so, drop a yes so I know kind of what we're dealing with here. Okay. So, what's really interesting about hate comments is there's a lot more to it than just someone leaving a comment. So, the first thing I want to share is a huge mindset shift that was a game changer for me. And that is that the people who leave cruel comments are usually projecting, meaning they are sharing from their belief of the world, their life, their looks, their limitations, etc. And understanding this really changed the game for me in understanding that it usually has almost nothing to do with me. Now, I do like to categorize what type of comment you're getting in one of three places. So the first is genuine feedback or criticism, which means it's generally speaking shared with kindness, or it's not a personal dig at who you are, but rather maybe a critique of, this is something that I would do a little bit differently, or have you ever taken this into account? Genuine feedback, genuine criticism, those types of things can be taken into account. The second category is hate comments. For example, actually, as we're filming this right now on YouTube, this is a great one. Ready? Just Me Jade says, "What the hell are you talking about?" This would be a really good example of just like a hate comment. It's someone who's showing up to just straight up drop negativity, and there's no point to what they're saying. They're not trying to share genuine feedback or learn or grow or have a great experience. That would be what we consider a hate comment for no good reason. And the third categorization is trolls. Now, trolls are usually found behind fake accounts, and they're just going to go and leave absolute out of control things that have nothing to do with the video, and they're just going to be there to poke at whatever they feel are your insecurities. Those are the ones that kind of take it up to a level 1000. And so I do like to categorize those three, because a genuine criticism or piece of feedback is something you may actually want to, with a grain of salt, take into consideration as you're creating content. The next big thing I want to share, and this was a huge shift for me, is realizing that if you go viral, chances are there's something polarizing about the content that you've created. If you are going viral, you're going to get all kinds of comments, because what happens is you essentially reach a new audience that your content doesn't normally reach. So you're beyond the friendly zone, and you're going to be in totally random zones of viewers. So when you go viral, it's a really good time to actually stop checking comments 100% as you're taking off, as a piece of content is going viral. The next big thing I want to share, and this is a helpful like mindset shift that really truly it changed the game for me, is thinking about the most successful people that I know, whether it's a creator on social media or an entrepreneur or an author or someone just that I look up to. They don't tear people down. And I want to say that again. The most successful people I know, the ones that I know on social media and the ones that I know in person, they're not sitting there leaving hate comments and tearing others down. And so, usually, if you kind of think about it that way, it helps you to realize that someone can really and truly only try to pull you down or tear you down if they're not busy building their own thing. It is so much easier for others to tear down than it is for them to build their own thing. And so anytime that I get just like a hate comment, I'm like, okay, wait a second. Why does this person have so much time on their hands that they're able to leave this? Why aren't they building their own thing? Okay. Now, in terms of ways to actually kind of take down the level of hate that you get. Let's say, for example, you have a particular insecurity about something. On many social media platforms, you can actually ban comments or block comments that are related to that keyword. So you can enter keywords that are maybe something that's a trigger for you, and you can enter it into the settings of that social media platform so that those comments either show up as hidden or they don't show up altogether. And that is a really great way to kind of filter out a lot of hate that you might get, especially around insecurities. This is a big one. Sometimes people say, like, don't block haters. I actually completely disagree. You have permission to block anyone who leaves a hateful comment immediately. Who needed to hear this one today? Drop a yes if you're like, yep, that's me. You have permission to block anybody because the truth is, I think about that Robin Williams quote, like, we get to decide who we let into our worlds. And the truth is, like, if someone's leaving hateful comments and that's the way that they're interacting with you, you have permission to just straight up say, nope, not today. I'm not interested. Thanks, but nope. You also do have permission, and some people like this strategy, to leave hate comments and kind of let people duke it out in the comments. I will tell you, disagreements in the comments are a really fast way to get engagement, but it just depends on where you're at with your mental health, if you feel comfortable with it. I do want to actually address this one. A lot of times people used to insult the fact that I have a large forehead, and it used to really bother me. So on many platforms, I've actually blocked all keywords related to foreheads. But now I just don't care because I've got a big brain, and so we need a big forehead to deal with it. It used to really bother me though. So I think it's still blocked on most platforms. Okay, next big thing I want to share with you. And this is a mindset shift that is a game changer. Okay. It is so easy for people to be brave behind a keyboard, straight up. And my big question is the people who want to be brave and those keyboard warriors that try to take other people out, why don't those people try using that bravery to show up and help others? Isn't that a helpful perspective shift? That's their problem, not yours. Cool. Um, the last thing I want to share, actually, two last things. Two last things. When people see someone showing up confidently as they are, it can be incredibly triggering, especially if they haven't done that work themselves yet. And so, oftentimes, you showing up in your expertise, you showing up with confidence, it's going to be a natural trigger for others. And this is really helpful to know. It's a way to kind of take it a little less personally. And so, one of the fastest ways that people kind of react is they lash out almost like a kid. Like, I don't have that. I'm mad I don't have that. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I'm going to go and take out the people who do. And so when you are showing up and others absolutely freak out, recognize that that might be an area that they really need to work on in their lives. And your content is just naturally triggering for them. There is actually just one more thing I want to share, and this is big. Your peace of mind and your mental health is super, super, super important. I say this from firsthand experience, but I don't know who needs this permission. You have permission to stop checking comments at any point, any day, anytime. Put your phone down for a few days and say, I'm just going to log out of this app for a few days while this is going on, etc. You do not need to check the comments. Like, straight up, it has nothing to do with the success or failure of your content. And if you don't want to check comments at all, you have permission, because your peace of mind is super, super, super important. Your mental health is super important. So if you find yourself reading comments and, there's a few negative ones, oftentimes, we'll get 99 positive comments and it's the one negative one that kind of takes the wind out of our sails. When you see that happening and you start to find yourself triggered, feel free to step away, back away. Say, I'm going to just take a little bit of a break. I'll come back once, the emotions are clear. I don't even need to go and reread those comments or check anything. Sometimes it can be so helpful to just say, you know what? I'm actually good. I'm going to step away from this completely. Okay. Now, if you need a little bit of help, I wish I could help with all of these things, but if you're struggling with like imposter syndrome, so people leave comments and it starts to make you think like, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, I don't know. And that imposter syndrome is starting to creep into your day to day. I actually put together an entire guide and I want to share it with you guys today. So I'll drop this in the comments for you. And it is 27 strategies, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 27 strategies for dealing with imposter syndrome. And even if just one or two of these really, really support you, I know that this is going to be so helpful because the truth is, like, oftentimes other people's comments trigger our imposter syndrome or trigger our insecurities. And so if I can support you with just one of those things today, that would be one of my biggest goals. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out. I will catch you later, and feel free to comment and let me know if this has been helpful for you.